You have to have your guitar set up a certain way to play a slide guitar, and I don't have a guitar that's set up for that. And I don't have a slide. I literally practiced it with a socket, like a socket wrench socket.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it was a nice.
What size?
Yeah, good question. No, but luckily when I got there, they had all the right stuff to do that, so it made it a lot easier then.
Rock, metal, prog, and everything in between. Welcome to this episode of Talkin Rock with Meltdown. Don't forget to follow the audio-only Talkin Rock podcast on all podcast platforms. And now, it's time for today's conversation. Here's Meltdown.
Hey guys, Meltdown back here in the studio with Sammy, Boller, and Josh LeMay from Citizen Zero. They've put the band back together. Welcome to the station, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, good to see you guys. A lot of things happening in your life here, Sammy, this year.
It's been a crazy summer. Yeah,
we'll get into more of that coming up here in a little bit. I don't want to ruin the surprise yet. No surprise. I guess everybody knows exactly what you've been doing. But Josh, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. So what have you been doing for the last few years?
I have been waiting and dreaming of getting back together with the boys. In the production space. So I'm still in the industry, but kind of on the other side of the backstage area, doing sound and lighting and all that kind of stuff.
For where?
Anywhere and everywhere for the big three in town here, and then also doing stuff for major festivals like around the country, like as well, audio and video.
That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, different side of the business.
Yeah,
kind of where I started actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you get to connect with certain people too.
Sure do. Yeah. I made some good friends along the way here over the last almost decade now that we've been kind of having the first record out, and yeah, it's been an interesting road for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. And Sammy, you've been doing so much, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But the show coming up here at Machine Shop, tell me about that.
Yeah, we got the band back together.
Yeah.
So we're doing a reunion show November 14th at the Machine Shop. So yeah, it's good to be coming back home. We kind of grew up playing there. So yeah, getting back together for the first time with some friends it's gonna be a great night.
Yeah, so tell us who else is playing that bill.
Our friends, the Wholesome Boys. It's our friend Frank's band. He toured with us a lot back in the day. And then a great local band called Moravians playing as well.
Oh, Moravian. Yeah, I've heard those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're working at the Rust Belt Studios where we kind of grew up recording too. So
okay, I was going to ask you about that here because before we started, you said that you're doing some new music, and I thought that maybe you might have been working with Al. Does Al have anything to do with anything you're doing?
Nothing right now. Al did our first record,
right.
And we worked with him a lot kind of growing up. But we're heading to the studio in a couple weeks in LA. We're working with a producer named Jim Kaufman. So he's a good friend of mine. And he just kind of had a breakout hit with Return to Dust. But he's worked with a lot of great bands over the years. So
yeah, those are the guys that just played Riff Fest. And by the way, full disclosure, sometimes when I'm walking around the Royal Oak area, because I have a friend that lives right down the street from Rust Belt, I will text Al and say, "Are you here?" And he will say, "Yeah." And then sometimes I leave not as sober as I did when I walked in.
Yeah, we grew up with that a little bit, but yeah, we still work at Rust Belt a lot. So yeah,
Al's great.
He's a great friend of ours. Yeah,
awesome guy, and he's always got a cocktail for me, so I do like that. So Josh, tell me about some of the new stuff.
Man, we're excited. We, we left a lot on the table when we stopped sort of playing, just kind of getting burned out from the road and all sorts of different things. But we left so much music kind of left unheard, right? So it was a kind of exciting. Sammy and I ran into each other sort of at PJ's Lager House one fateful night, and just started coming up with a plan to kind of re-release these things. And then one thing led to another, right? You start kind of bringing up old stuff and kind of reminiscing about old times, and then all of a sudden that sort of inspires new things. So this kind of next chapter is sort of something that I've been looking forward to personally for a long time, and then come to find out when we kind of rekindled and sort of relit the flame between all the boys and Citizen Zero, everybody kind of felt the same way. So it kind of like poetic that it would come together in a chance meeting after so many years apart, and now hitting the. We always had a thing, no plan B and all gas, no brakes. So we really kind of adapted that again. Oh, yeah. Fell right back into it.
So when was this?
This was, I don't know, man.
Beginning of the year,
yeah,
maybe
probably 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that. So
PJ's Lager House. I've never been there. That's right down the street here, right?
Corktown,
yeah.
Oh, it's down that far.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. That's a small
Wholesome
little,
Boys,
isn't it a house
actually.
or something?
It's small,
Yeah.
yeah. But our friend Frank's band was playing, and he's playing at our reunion show. But yeah, Josh and I hadn't seen each other in years, but it was just like, oh man, it's like, why aren't we still playing?
One of those
It's like an
small
obvious
venues that's so loud it turns into like a tuning fork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just watching stuff rattle on the walls and bar glasses slide across the table.
Yeah, it's a legendary spot.
So have you guys kept in touch, or was it? You said it was a chance meeting. You guys just both were there.
We had always sort of just on the periphery. Everybody's so busy, right? Or busy, and we'd always kind of talk about some sort of something that we want to come back. Sammy's been so busy with other projects, and same thing with Johnny, drummer. Sam and I have always been together, kind of. So we've always been in each other's orbit, but never really put a lot of emphasis on it for some reason or another. And really that fateful kind of PJ's, speaking of cocktails, you just have just enough to, sort of hit the tipping point where you're just like, say the thing you're nervous to say or say the thing you really want and like whatever. So that actually happened between the two of us. And it was just sort of one of those things where it was just became kind of like an obvious calling, sort of like, got to do this, got to lean in.
Yeah, it's like having enough cocktails, texting your ex. I get it.
Yeah,
Same
it's exactly the same.
Yeah. So, Sam, you have done a lot of things since the band disbanded or whatever. So, you play with Scott Stapp, correct?
Yeah, I've been playing with him the past few years.
Yeah, what's funny? Scott has this reputation, and I think that some of it might be deserved. But I have to tell you that I don't know exactly what happened to him in the past 15 years, but he is one of the nicest people to interview and one of the best dudes, at least from my perspective. If you don't want to say anything, you don't have to, of course. But he seems to have almost changed since the first time I met him.
Scott's great, man.
Yeah.
I met Scott originally. We were opening for him when our record first came out, maybe in 2016. But we were on the same label as Creed back in the day, Wind Up Records.
Yeah.
So that's how we met initially, and Scott and I just kind of kept in touch, and then after the band disbanded, he just kind of reached out to me to do a couple things, and I've been playing with him ever since. But I love Scott, man. He's an amazing performer and just a great dude to be around. So
yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. He always treated me really well. What other projects have you worked on?
I've been doing a lot of instrumental music, kind of like solo guitar music, and touring on that. And the most recently, I just got home. We kind of referred to it earlier, but I just did a tour with the Goo Goo Dolls, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's great. So let me get this straight. So the Goo Goo Dolls were already on tour, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And what you get the call? How does this happen?
Actually, another friend of mine, originally from Detroit, Dave Friedman, is the one who got me the gig. He's a really well-known amplifier designer and amp maker. But their guitarist, Brad Fernquist, he was dealing with like a shoulder injury, like a nerve thing in his shoulder. So he got out on the road and kind of had to leave the tour. But it happened really fast, man. I got called the day before the first show I played with them. So it was very stressful.
So where was the first show?
In Cleveland. So
Okay.
I spent the day before trying to learn I had a YouTube video to learn all this stuff. And,
Did they make it for you, or?
then no, it was like a cell phone video on YouTube from somebody. So they sent me that and said, like, hey, can you learn this? Their manager sent it to me. And so it was very, very stressful, to say the least.
But you hadn't met Robbie or Johnny or anything.
I didn't meet him. I met Robbie earlier in the day of the show. We kind of rehearsed the stuff at soundcheck, and then I met John maybe like a half hour before we played.
No kidding. What does he say to you?
He's super cool, man. You know them obviously from Buffalo. You
Right.
guys have some history together.
But
no,
I mean, as a performer, like, what is? You meet Johnny a half hour before he goes on. Does he say, "Hey, man, just have a good show, just be loose"? What does he tell you?
That's how he was. Yeah, he was just like, look, I know it was super last minute, but I appreciate you being here. Let's have some fun,
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really sleep. It took all night to kind of like put everything together. So I'm sure I looked like a mess, and I was stressed out. But it was amazing. It was an amazing experience playing with them, man. Like they're such an amazing band, and yeah, just gonna play those songs. I mean, those songs are so incredible.
Some of those songs, like Iris and stuff, I mean, well written. And I just want to see the mailbox money they got from the Deadpool movie that used it.
That just happened, correct?
Yeah.
Like the past couple of years.
It was a big part of the Deadpool movie. Mm-hmm. So how many shows did you play with them?
I think it was around 20, and I have a couple more things with them towards the end of the year here.
That's killer, man. So when you played here in Detroit, because we were texting, what number show was that?
It was pretty early. I was still kind of learning the stuff. It was like, I think it was the 4th or 5th show of the tour. So
And by the end, did you pretty much have it down?
Yeah. I mean, the way I learned it, it was so kind of cram learning for an exam or something like
right.
that. It's different than like if you actually had time to prepare for a tour. So, but yeah, by the end, I was definitely a lot more comfortable with the music and kind of just could be in the moment a little bit more. But
and this is something I always think about. It's like, because I'm not a musician, obviously, but you're on stage with these two guys that have been together for 30 plus years. And there's got to be that respect element. You don't want to step on their toes. You don't want to go too far forward. There's probably all that stuff in the back of your mind, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So how do you like remedy that? Like it's just a feeling out process.
Yeah, you feel it out. I mean, I've always loved their band, So I think, yeah, it takes a few shows, no matter what you're doing, to kind of get a feel of everybody on stage and know like when to step out or take the reins or whatever. But they were just so cool. I mean, they just made it so comfortable, and like everybody on their crew was super nice and supportive. So it makes it easier, and especially they could tell like it was such a last minute thing. It was a tough thing to walk into. So they were cool about it.
Well, here's the thing. Like I saw Axl Rose with AC/DC, and I don't know if you guys saw that a few years ago. And Axl Rose, to me, I mean, legend, right? Yeah. And he kind of took a back seat to Angus Young. It was almost too respectful. It's like, dude, you're Angus. You're Axl Rose. You should be a little bit more upfront. So I guess that's where the give and take goes with something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's their show, so you want to be more of a supportive role. That's the way I looked at it, at least. But yeah, there are moments like the guitar solo in Iris and stuff where it's like you have the spotlight, but
and that's with a slide, right?
Slide guitar, yeah. I don't really play slide guitar, so I was very stressed about that. I didn't even own one. I don't think I even told you this, yeah. So when I was like, obviously that was a big moment, in the show. Oh
my god!
But
the biggest song, right?
Yeah, and like I don't know if you play guitar or not. But
I do not.
Okay, so you have to have your guitar set up a certain way to play a slide guitar, and I don't have a guitar that's set up for that, and I don't have a slide. But the night before, I was like, all right, so this is one thing where you can't mess this up, or else it's going to be on TikTok the next day, and then your life's over. So, but I literally practiced it with a socket, like a socket wrench socket.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it was a nice.
What size?
Yeah, good question. No, but luckily when I got there, they had all the right stuff to do that, so it made it a lot easier. Then it made a big difference. So,
what was that first sound check like? Were you on stage for quite a while? Kind of.
Yes, yeah, it was stressful for me. I mean, they were all so nice about it, but I only had time to write the stuff out. I didn't have time to actually play through any of it.
And what about like you got your set list in front of you, taped to the stage or whatever? Is there any? Did they just go song to song, or was there any parts where it's like kind of a sustained leads to another part, or is it all pretty much cut and dry?
Well, with them, it's all different than the album. Nothing is like the album, for the most part. So
super helpful.
Yeah, exactly. So luckily, I had like some of their live stuff to watch, but there's not a ton of transitions, but the arrangements of the songs are a lot different on a lot of them. So, and just knowing your role, like John Resnick plays guitar on everything, obviously. So when there's two guitar players in a band, you kind of have to pick your parts to make sure you're not playing the same thing, stuff like that. So, it was a learning thing for sure. I feel like I definitely learned a lot from it, and I'm a better musician because of it.
Now, I remember interviewing Paul O'Neill years ago, and he's from Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And he told me, he goes, yeah, the people in Germany wanted them to play this festival for so long. And I don't know, in European tours, European festivals, they got the two stages next to each other, and while one stage is playing, they're setting up the stage for the other guy. And so Paul says, I'll tell you what, we will play your festival if we can use both stages. And then that poses the issue of they practiced in different rooms because there's no visual cues, right?
Interesting.
And so were you using visual cues with Johnny a lot on stage as far as the guitar parts and stuff?
A little bit, yeah, for sure. Like when a lot of the times, like he plays a lot of lead guitar too, so like trading solos and stuff like that. So he'd kind of like wave me to the front when it was my turn or whatever, stuff like that. But I did have charts on the floor for a lot of it just because it was so last minute. But they would just bring them out and tape them down,
Yeah, I always think about that scene in Spinal Tap where Nigel is off to the side and David St. Hubbins just nods for him to come back on stage.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the new Spinal Tap is like pretty funny how accurate it is, just like the first one. I don't know if you've seen the.
I've seen it twice.
The newest
one?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Have you seen it yet or no?
No.
Yeah, it's good. You'll like it.
That's on my list now.
Yeah, it's good.
I think I've talked about this before, but the ending gag, which of course refers to the first movie, I was in hysterics the first time I saw it. and I was in a theater by myself at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday.
That's awesome.
So, but no, I really liked it. So, well, no, it's really interesting, dude. I'm really happy for you. I wanted to ask you about the Goo Goo Dolls thing, because it always fascinates me when, you don't know these guys. They just call you up out of the blue and say, hey, did you have plans for that week or something? Also, you got to change everything.
I did. Our original recording session was that week.
No
to
kidding.
Go work in LA. Yeah, so we had to kind of reschedule it for coming up here, but it was one of those things where it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So obviously everybody's super cool about it. But,
do you think you might join them like next year?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I have a couple of things coming up this year, but honestly, the way I was looking at it's where it's just one day at a time. Try to appreciate every second of it, because I don't know. Just getting to play that music was a real blessing for me. So
no, dude,
you never know.
That's super cool, man.
This business is great. The music business is unreal, man. Like one phone call can change everything.
Yeah.
So I've always liked that about playing. So
well, as we were talking about before we started here, I got called and they said, why don't you come to Detroit? I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything now, so I might as well go.
Exactly.
And here we are, all these years later. So anyways, anything else happening with Citizen Zero that we should know about? You said you're recording. Does that start? Are you guys going into the studio locked and loaded with a bunch of songs, or you have anything worked out yet, or what?
Yeah, starting next week. We're literally heading out there next week to start getting in the studio and try to finish up as much as we can within the schedule that we have right now, and then might try to get in before the end of the year, finish a record, and then come out in 2026 with a new music, new record, and tour dates and all sorts of different things.
Do you have any tours lined up or anything? I mean, you probably can't talk about it, but is there something lined up?
In the works, yeah.
Okay, they're opening for the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Let me send a couple texts. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's great. So, will we hear any new stuff on November 14th at the Machine Shop? Perhaps.
Definitely.
Yeah. We'll have some new music out before the show.
And will you tease Iris to start playing?
I don't see why not. We got the guy.
You never know.
We got
We have some surprises.
Yeah, will Johnny show up?
Highly unlikely. But you never know. Never say never.
No, that's really great. So anything else you guys want to plug? Anything else you want to promote?
Mainly just the show right now.
Yeah. November 14th, Machine Shop.
That's the only show you guys have lined up so
Back
far?
home, yeah.
That's all. When we first reconnected, that was kind of like the plan. It's like, all right, let's just do a show and have some fun. But once the band started hanging out and we started hanging out again like we used to when we were kids. You know? So it's like, all right, man, we got to do some new music. So one thing at a time. But
that's great. I think that I think you actually texted me about doing an interview and plugging the Machine Shop show months ago, and all of a sudden then you hopped on that Goo Goo Dolls tour.
Everything kind of got pushed back a little bit. Yeah, it's been a crazy summer, but it's all good.
No, that's really cool, man. Really, really happy for you. Like I said, really happy for both you guys putting the band back together and some new music in 2026 and a world tour with we don't know yet. So it's all a secret. So, well, thank you guys so much for coming in, and we look forward to seeing you November 14th at the Machine Shop. I'll be there with I'll bring a guitar.
Please do. Come on up. That'd be great
sockets.
to see you, man.
And a socket.
Oh, God. I can't believe I said that. Great.
Dude,
it's all right.
Dude, if I show up with a socket, that means my car's broke down.
Exactly.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming
thanks for
in.
having us,
Cheers,
man.
mother.